Welcome to my views and news. Some news stories from Ethiopia. Firstly, Ethiopia is warning Arab League. In a statement a few hours ago, Ethiopian Foreign Ministry warned the Arab League. Why is that Ethiopia is not happy with Arab League? Secondly, protests are going to be held in Tigray today on Tuesday. In 4 cities of Tigray, people will take to the streets. And thirdly, TPLF has refused to reapply for registration of the party, which was being demanded by National Election Board of Ethiopia. Debretsion Gebremichael, TPLF's president, has made some announcements in the past few hours. Firstly, viewers, again, Ethiopian government and the Arab League are confronting each other. 2 to 3 days ago, Arab League passed a resolution. A meeting of the Arab League was held in Jeddah, and their resolution was passed. Several issues are mentioned in the resolution, like the ongoing war in Sudan, conflict in Yemen and Syria. There is mention of GERD to Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Arab League has its headquarters in Cairo. Like African Union, its headquarters is in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. The resolution states that Arab League is concerned because of Ethiopian government's unilateral actions about construction and filling of the dam, and that GERD will remain as a permanent agenda item of the Arab League. And thirdly, very importantly, Arab League is asking UN Security Council to intervene. It means Egyptian narrative is prevailing at Arab League meetings. Though Arab League appreciated African Union-led process, but it asked Ethiopian government to agree to a binding agreement about the construction, the operations of the dam. That is why Ethiopia issued a statement a few hours ago, Ethiopian Foreign Ministry. Ethiopian Foreign Ministry has rejected Arab League's resolution, saying that Arab League resolution is a way of undermining of the efforts of African Union. So we cannot say that African Union and Arab League are at the loggerheads, but at least Ethiopia is refusing to give in. Why is that we're seeing certain pressure upon Ethiopia? Because the second resolution by Arab League condemning Ethiopian unilateral actions about GERD. It's because Ethiopia is going to start the fourth filling of the dam in coming weeks. Rainy season starting, and during rainy season, Ethiopia is going to fill the dam for the fourth time. And whenever Ethiopia fills the dam, we see a campaign, international campaign, launched by Egypt and Sudan to put pressure upon Ethiopia. Sudan is these days preoccupied with its own internal civil war. Egypt is continuing the pressure upon Ethiopia. But Ethiopia has refused to give in. Ethiopia will definitely fill the dam for the fourth time. Ethiopia Arab League relations have deteriorated, we can say that. Secondly, protests are going to be held after a few hours across Tigray. In 4 cities of Tigray, people will take to the streets. The 4 cities are Mekelle, Tigray's capital, Adagrat, Shire and Abeadi. Getachew, if you remember, a few days ago, while meeting people who have been displaced, people who are in dire need of humanitarian aid, said that the people should protest. He said that reportedly. Why did he say that? Because we know that delivery of aid to Tigray has been suspended after USAID World Food Program accused that aid was being stolen and diverted in Tigray without naming anyone. They said that aid was being stolen, and in a report it was mentioned that from Shiraro, aid sufficient to feed more than 100,000 people had been stolen. And then we got information that the lists, the figures of total number of people in need in Tigray are inflated. That is why the local government officials, including security officials, are involved in aid theft, and then aid items are sold in local markets. So USAID World Food Program suspended aid distribution, aid supply, only food aid. Tigray government has been demanding the restoration of aid supply. At the same time, Tigray interim President Getachew ordered an investigation into the allegations of aid diversion in Tigray. We don't know the outcome of this investigation. It was ordered more than a week ago. So far, no one has been held accountable. But people are suffering because majority of people in Tigray is dependent on aid. That is why now protests are starting. It is a way of putting pressure upon international community to restore supply of food aid to Tigray. Will this strategy work? We'll have to wait and see. Getachew's government is not in a position to hold those people accountable who are involved in aid theft, it seems. Having said that, people are in dire need of food aid. Lastly, viewers, TPLF, Tigray People's Liberation Fund, has refused to apply for a new registration. TPLF is a political party, but it was declared a terrorist party through a parliamentary vote in 2021. Parliament voted to declare TPLF and OLA as terrorist entities. NABE, National Election Board of Ethiopia, cancelled TPLF's registration. All its properties were confiscated. But then we saw that this year Parliament again voted after Pretoria deal. The Parliament voted again. It reinstated TPLF, or you can say it removed terrorist label from TPLF. But NABE refused to restore TPLF as a political party. In a statement, NABE asked TPLF to apply for new registration. TPLF's frozen assets have not been released as well. That is why we are seeing tensions in Tigray. Debretsion Gebremichael is TPLF's president. He is former Tigray president, but he is serving president of the Tigray People Liberation Fund. And at a press talk a few hours ago, he announced that TPLF won't apply for a new registration. NABE is telling TPLF to apply for a registration. It's like telling a 50-year-old to start his life again. Very important remarks by Debretsion Gebremichael. And now it seems that TPLF will raise those issues which could be problematic for the federal government to handle. And that is what happened. Debretsion raised the issue of accountability. At his press talk, he said that people have not been held accountable for war crimes committed in Tigray. This is a serious issue. Federal government has been ignoring the issue. It just wants to sweep all the human rights abuses under the carpet under the guise of traditional reconciliation. But TPLF will raise this issue now consistently, I think. Secondly, TPLF is raising the issue of restoration of Tigray's border. It means it wants return of Raya Volkayet, again contentious issue. Thirdly, it is asking the federal government to ensure the return, the rehabilitation of IDPs. Again, a thorny issue because Western Tigray, Volkayet is under the control of temporary administration installed by Amhara government there. Colonel Demek Zadu is opposing the return of Tigrayans. So rehabilitation is another thorny issue. TPLF will try to put pressure. It is already putting pressure upon the federal government that the decision to keep it, the decision to refuse the restoration of its political status should be reviewed. But so far, federal government is silent. NAB is refusing to restore TPLF. Let's see what happens. Could Getacheau's government be a casualty of this confrontation between TPLF and Ethiopian federal government? Thank you for watching.